bruv, I just can't handle the pressure, bruv. You just don't understand, bruv. It's like I do well, bruv, and then like they hate me, and like I do poorly and they hate me. It's like, bruv, like get off my dick, mate. Get off my dick, mate. It's like, dude,
is that your Zaha
That was
impression?
my Zaha. I don't actually know what he sounds like.
Let's get into this week's Blazing Hot Coach Press Conference of the Week, sponsored by Hacks and Ferments. Support Hacks and Ferments. Great company, great hot sauce. Love them. This week, Noah, I think might have been our greatest week of Blazing Hot Coach Press Conference ever.
Ever.
I ended up having to feature 3 coaches.
Oh my God.
We had
How could we be so lucky?
Gregg Berhalter, Gregg Vanney, both Greggs.
Gregging it up.
And Charlotte FC's Dean Smith.
Who's basically a Greg. Like, he looks like a Greg.
All 3 of them are featured this week. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to lay down like the circumstances that all 3 coaches were giving these press conferences under, because I think that's important for the context. And then we're going to play. I literally made a video.
We're proud of you.
I made a video compilation. That is like how good the press conferences were this week. Made a video compilation. Noah hasn't seen it yet.
No.
So I'm gonna play it for Noah, and we're gonna show my video, and then we're gonna break down the pressers and which ones that we liked best, which coach we thought was spitting the most fire.
I think the first thing is apologizing to the fans that took the time out of their day to watch that game. Some of them perhaps traveled to the game. Apology to the owner for putting up a performance like this, that doesn't represent who we are.
And just kind of out of the blue is a penalty call that I haven't seen it for sure. In the run of it live, I didn't see a penalty. At best, it was 50-50 and soft. Don't call it, nobody says anything ever.
It's probably the most incompetent performance from our officials, in my opinion, that I've seen.
And it was a very, very poor performance. And we deserve to lose the way we did.
There's no response. They're never wrong, so it doesn't matter. How do you get better if you can never look in the mirror and say, you know what, maybe I need to get better today?
I asked the fourth official for a rule, he didn't even know. So it's incompetence, and I get a yellow card for telling them it's incompetence.
Today was an absolute disaster and a very, very poor performance.
We need to get better. And I need to get better with the group, and I can stand in front of you and tell it. Why can't they come in front of the media and say, you know what, we need to get better. That wasn't good enough. Because today it wasn't good enough. It's not good enough for this level. I
can accept if a team's better than you would have scored a really good goal, and you go, yeah, okay, that didn't happen today. In my opinion, it wasn't up to the game today, the official.
We're all responsible for this. I'm responsible for this, the coaching staff, setting the guys up to succeed. We're going to have to look at it. We have to process through it.
And they need to accept it and own it and say it, and then we'll all have more respect for the situation when they can also sit up in front of us like this and say, we need to get better.
Those were our Blazing Hot Coach Press Conference of the Week, sponsored by Hacks and Ferments.
Wow. You might have made the greatest video of all time.
I'm pretty proud of it.
I am so proud of you. Like, as the new video editor.
I've been learning my CapCut. Yeah, but they made it. They locked that over the plate for us. That was pretty easy. But let's talk about these, because I think there's different things to dig into.
I gotta know what your favorite one was, though. Starting just as a baseline.
It's tough, but my favorite one I think was Vanney.
Yeah.
Vanney was absolutely spitting. There was a lot of facets to it. He was doing the whole the refs should have to talk to the media thing, which is a popular Blazing Hot Coach press conference thing, and really just like everything about the Vanney I thought was top class in terms of Blazing Hot Coach press conference. But let's talk about Berhalter one.
Yeah, I was gonna say that one was my favorite.
I thought this was kind of an interesting one. It wasn't like that blazing hot, but it's more. I included it more just because it's like the novelty of a coach having to do a presser after a 7-2.
Yeah,
the Chicago
crazy.
Fire lost this game 7-2, so he had to go face the music after that. And so, like, before I watched it, I was like, all right, what's Gregg going to do here? Like, squad just gave up 7 goals. They haven't been playing well the last couple weeks, even before that. Now they gave up a 7 spot. He's going to be under Chicago Fire from the fan base and probably ownership. And so what's he going to do? First thing he does, apologizes.
Yep.
I'm going to apologize to the fan base, apologize to the owner for the product that we put out. That's just... When you have to do that as a coach at the presser, that's tough.
Yeah, he walked up to that podium like he had just killed a dog. Like he had just run a dog over with his car, or like it kind of reminded me. I don't know if Portland ever did a presser after both their players got those DUIs. Do you remember that? It felt like that had just happened, and he had to come out and like speak on that. Like, it felt like a tragic event had happened, which I guess it kind of did.
There's not much you can say after a 7-2. So I think, honestly, all things considered, Berhalter handled that as well as you could, given the circumstances. And, you know, he gave the whole, like, I'm responsible for this. Everyone's responsible for this. It's a collective. It's not about, at one point he was like, it's not about singling people out. So,
well, Gregg is not new to getting his ass beat. So
he, you know, I think he probably was questioning all the decisions that he made leading up to this moment of ended up coaching the Chicago Fire. You know, it's probably, you know, he's had a lot of success in MLS. He probably thought he could get that. It's the Chicago Fire, Greg.
Dude. Yeah,
you're coming into this from a deep hole.
There is not enough sage in the world to fix that club.
Apparently not, man. Because remember the start of the season, the pundits were like, "Hey, look, Hugo Kuipers might win the Golden Boot 7-2."
Sure, buddy.
So that was
get run on by Sam Sturridge.
That was four goals to Sam Sturridge. Oh my goodness. So anyway, I thought Berhalter, you know, given the circumstances, he did all he could. But
Is he gonna get sacked?
No way. MLS is a lot more forgiving than most leagues. And also, man, like, he's in his first year trying to rebuild a club that is like deep in the gutter.
Yeah.
But even with that, like, a 7-2 is hard to rationalize.
It was
like
almost
giving up 7. Like, remember when Seattle lost to San Diego 3-0?
Yeah, that
and we
felt
were
like the
this
world was
is the
ending.
most disgusting thing.
Yeah.
3-0 is like nothing compared to a 7 spot. Like, Jesus
Which,
Christ.
and funny enough, somehow that match, they still didn't play as bad as Atlanta played this weekend, which I'm sure we'll get into in winners and losers.
I really like Dean Smith's too, though.
Dean Smith, was he standing?
No,
He
it was
looks
just
like he's like straight
he's
vertical.
He's sitting, and like the footage from their YouTube, the sound isn't very good and
Nice,
stuff. So,
yep.
but I thought that added to the character.
It does. It was like lo-fi.
Added to the character of it. But Dean Smith was fire. He was calling the officials incompetent. My favorite part of the Dean Smith one was when he was like, and then they gave me a yellow card for saying that they're incompetent. Yeah, Dean, what did you?
dude.
I honestly don't even know what he's mad about. Like,
No,
I didn't
either.
even look into
Didn't they
that.
win?
But his no, they lost.
No, they lost?
1-0. So the reason, like, all three of these coaches have different motivations.
Yeah.
Gregg Berhalter is trying to damage control after 5-goal defeat where he lost. His team conceded 7. Greg Vanney.
I don't even think they can legally re-air that match. Like, that is like
it's
that bad.
Greg Vanney, his team is off to one of the worst start in the league, tied with CF Montreal.
Which cannot be tied with CF Montreal.
Yeah, a season after winning MLS Cup, they're off to the worst title defense in the history of the league. So, like, the Vanney one is a classic situation where the team is performing so poorly that if they kind of look over here, look at the refs.
Yeah.
Look how badly that I only take it so seriously when a club is as down bad as the Galaxy, and then the coach starts talking about the refs. The penalty call that Portland got might have been a bad call. That's not the root of what ails the LA Galaxy. So
They also lost 2-4. So I don't.
They gave up 3 goals outside of what he was saying. So they were down 3-0. They cut it back to 3-2, and then it was a soft PK call to make it 4-2. And he was saying that the refs kind of took the momentum away from us type stuff.
Bud.
I mean, even if he's right, even if you grant that he's right, that is not like the reason that the LA Galaxy are last place in the West right now. Like, they got issues beyond one, like a soft PK call. He was saying, you know, the reffing wasn't up to the level of a top flight league or whatever. But
your coaching isn't up to.
That's a classic diversionary coach presser. And then you look at Dean Smith. Charlotte is off to a really good start this year.
Pep Biel is going to win MVP.
Pep Biel looks like one of the best players in the league and all that. But Charlotte, they're actually, have you been paying attention to the Zaha stuff?
Yeah, dude. I sent you that post.
Oh, okay. You're the one who said it. Yeah, so they're dealing with their star player, biggest acquisition, being disgruntled right now. So that's
he's posting on Snapchat.
Yeah.
It's 2025. You are an old man. Get off Snapchat. Stop posting on your Snapchat story. What are we doing, Zaha?
He's my age, okay. So yeah. So Dean
If
Smith.
I'm posting that on if I had a Snapchat and I was posting on my Snapchat story, like, bruv, I just can't handle the pressure, bruv. You just don't understand, bruv. It's like I do well, bruv. And then they hate me, and like I do poorly and they hate me. It's like, bruv, like, get off my dick, mate. Get off my dick, mate. It's like,
Is that your Zaha?
That was my.
impression?
I don't actually know what he sounds like.
He
That'd be offensive.
He crashed out online.
Yep.
Dean Smith is trying to deal with that, and then they had been undefeated at home. They had some crazy unbeaten streak at home, like dating back to last year. It was looking like one of the biggest fortresses in the league.
Yep.
And then they lost 1-0 to the Revs.
Yeah.
So Dean Smith is trying to kind of divert away from that. They just took a really bad result at home, and that their star player is crashing out online. So again, like differing motivations from all three of them, but comedically and for us, it worked out great.
It was a beautiful song of symphony. Like they're all just chirping about the same shit instead of taking.
Berhalter
was
the Dean Smith and Vanney were crashing out about the
three
refs,
Greggs,
and then Berhalter was just trying to find meaning in life again.
Yeah, dude, I feel you can tell that he's lost it. He's lost the love. It's gone from his eyes.
It looked like it in that presser.
Yeah, like he looks like he never wants to see a soccer ball ever again, which I don't really blame him. Like to be constantly told that you are a joke, not a coach, basically just like a sock in the wind. Plastic bag, what is that? Plastic bag drifting through the wind, wanting to start again. He wanted to start again, and you know what he did? He started again at the Chicago Fire, a club that literally is cursed by like every god that exists. They are doomed, and
they actually
not doing well.
it seemed like they started off like okay.
False hope,
they had Bamba seemed like a really good signing and was looking pretty good. Hugo Kuipers is a really good number 9. Honestly,
he has
he's
7
a guy.
goals.
Yeah, he's a guy who will be up with the Golden Boot leaders all season. I'm pretty sure. So you think that like maybe they're turning it around, and then 7-2.
Yeah.
That's just tough.
And they have that dude named like Pumpernickel or whatever, the winger. I don't know.
Oh yeah, he had a really sick goal for one of their goals. So there's that. All right, that was our Blazing Hot Coach press conferences, plural, of the week, sponsored by Hacks and Ferments. That was a great one. I loved watching all 3 of those and making that video. It was a good time.